Hello. So for my project, I decided to do Mexico's human rights violations and challenges that they are facing currently. Um, so I started off with the women's rights. Uh, Obviously, the women's reproductive rights is a challenge in Mexico due to not having many of laws and policies for them. They also do not have any type of health reform, any facilities, or any type of education for women in Mexico. I can read some of the stuff that I have found. It says that one study estimated that induced abortion rate in Mexico has been 33 abortions per thousand women since 2006, and currently is still happening. There's advocates about getting a law passed for them to get facilities and things like that. And of course, because of the culture aspect in Mexico, they don't allow, especially when it comes to abortion. One thing that I have realized about that is that religion is a very aspect of it. The Catholic Church is very dominant in a lot of Latin American countries, and they still haven't separated religion with state. So of course, a lot of the mindset that they have is still the old ways. And it's also saying many conservative legislations are still battling with abortion rights, stating that the right to life is at the time of conception. Women still look for unsafe abortion due to not having the right to make a choice of their body. So they don't have any rights. They don't have any choices. They don't have anything in Mexico. Just like inequality, the job force, they don't have any of that. So some solutions that I thought about was, one of the solutions is to integrate new policies like a better health reform for women, pay, and of course pay equality. Even though in Mexico religion is still a big part, they still need to establish once again separation between religion and state, so they wouldn't be unbiased when it comes to decision making when it comes to women's rights. And develop women facilities like family planning and education, and have a better understanding the issues of population control. So of course I talk about women's inequality, the workforce, how men get paid more, how women gets discriminated. So of course the solutions for that will be new employment for women and new policies to protect women from discrimination in the workforce. Then I talk about immigration. Immigration is a big topic. So mostly after this lies immigration, torture, kidnapping, journalists, that all kind of come together because it's a part of the human rights that is happening right now in Mexico. Of course, immigrants are high risk of abduction and murder by criminal gangs, and abuse and extortion by corruption Mexican officials. So in Mexico, there's still corruption, especially with immigration and the border control. One thing that I did find was on January 22nd of this year, of 19 migrants at the hands of a dozen Mexican state police from a U.S. train unit in Camargo, Tamaulipas, menaced from the U.S. border, they have been killed. It says that this was the 5th migrants that massacre of Mexican territories in the San Fernando massacre and mass graves in 2010 and 2011. Another thing that I found out is that, of course, Mexico, many migrants continue to suffer abuses at the hands of police, and others are the victims of targeted kidnapping, trafficking, rape, and killing by criminal gangs, which often operate in coalitions with local authorities. So that comes to where torture and kidnapping comes. Of course, it says up to this day there are political corruption, police brutality, and organized crime in Mexico. That's how everything comes together with immigration. As of last Friday, November 29, 2021, more than 95,000 people have been officially registered as disappeared in Mexico. That's not including the immigrants that have disappeared or kidnapped. So that's a challenge that, of course, Mexico is going through, and that is also including the journalists and advocates for human rights. They also get killed, they get tortured. It's like going back to the cultural aspect of it. Nothing has changed. It's all corruption. It always has been for a long time. So basically, some solutions that I thought was coordinating between state and federal law officials, make better laws, secure and analyze evidence like eyewitnesses, cell phone records to help identify why this is happening. Protect families of those who have been tortured or disappeared. You never know what these criminals have, are thinking about to do. And a better national database, of course, and have the correct numbers, adding the immigrants that have been disappeared from these places. Of course, I talk about the journalists, their human rights have been violated too because they're exposing corruption in Mexico. Journalists and human rights defenders are killed, harassed, or face fabricated criminal charges. Marginalized communities whose lands are sought for economic development at risk. So, of course, anyone who advocates, anyone who tries to paint out or show the reality of what's happening in Mexico, they're basically getting killed. So I feel like journalists and advocates also should have a more safety for them and a comprehensive approach to protect their rights. They have the right to inform the community, inform the world of what's happening. So that is what my project was about. Thank you so much.